Hello everybody, I'm Chris from fluentinmandarin.com and welcome back to my mini-series of videos about Chinese characters, explaining the different types of Chinese characters in detail. This is the fourth and the last video of the series, and in this video I want to talk about the most common type of Chinese characters, which are characters that have two parts. One is a part called the radical, which indicates the rough area of meaning, and another part that gives a clue about the pronunciation of the character. So two different parts, a meaning part and a pronunciation part. And more than 80% of Chinese characters are like this. Some people say it's more than 90%. And actually I should give a warning here. Often the part of the character that gives us a clue about the pronunciation is related to a historical Chinese pronunciation. The pronunciation that it's related to may be from a previous dynasty or from Chinese history, and the character isn't actually pronounced in that way nowadays in the 21st century in modern Chinese. So the part of the character about pronunciation may not be that helpful to people learning modern Mandarin, and the clue may relate to an older pronunciation. So the clue may not be helpful now, but often it is. So let me give you some examples of this type of character. First of all, where the meaning component, or the radical, is on the left-hand side of the character. You'll see what I mean. So, in this character, Tao, there's two different parts. The left-hand side of the character is mu, tree. This indicates the area of meaning. It's a plant or something that grows on a tree. And zhao is the right-hand side of the character. This gives us a clue about the pronunciation of the character. And you will notice that Tao and Zhao, they all have this ao sound in them. So that gives us a clue about the pronunciation of the character. Okay, another example. Zhi means branch. And this character also has the same radical, the same meaning component, which is mu, tree, on the left-hand side. And the right-hand side is a pronunciation clue, because the right-hand side, this character is pronounced zhi, and this whole character is also pronounced zhi. So it's exactly the same. This character means branch. All these characters are a meaning component plus a pronunciation clue component. Tong means copper or bronze. The left-hand side of this character means metal. Jin. This indicates the area of meaning. And the right-hand side, tong, gives us a clue about the pronunciation. It's actually pronounced exactly the same way as this whole character. Qing means clear, fresh, or clean. The left-hand side of this character means water. It's 3 drops of water. And this indicates the area of the meaning of this character. And the right-hand side, qing, is the same pronunciation. So this gives us a clue on how to pronounce it. Can you get the pattern that's emerging here? Let's have a look at some more examples. Jiang, this character has the same radical, the same meaning component. The left-hand side, the 3 drops of water, which means water. And the right-hand side of this character is actually gong, which is a clue about the pronunciation, but it's not very similar to jiang, the modern pronunciation of this character in Mandarin. But in some of the other dialects of Chinese, the pronunciation of these characters is actually pretty similar, and in Old Chinese it was similar as well. So that's why this difference has arisen. This character feng means the peak of a mountain or summit, and the left-hand side of this character is mountain, indicates the area of meaning. The right-hand side, feng, is the pronunciation clue. So now let's have a look at some examples of characters where the part that indicates the meaning is on the right-hand side. Ya means duck, and the right-hand side of this character means bird. It gives us the area of meaning. Jia is the left-hand side of the character. This is a pronunciation clue, and the a is actually a similar sound to ya, so this is the pronunciation clue. Zhan, the right-hand side of this character, means a spear, or it's a picture of a weapon. And the left-hand side of the character, zhan, is a similar pronunciation. So that's the pronunciation clue. This character means war or battle. And the character in the brackets is the traditional full Chinese character. The one out of the brackets is the simplified Chinese character used in mainland China. Here's another example. Piao means to drift about in the wind or flutter. The right-hand side of this character means wind, and the left-hand side of the character, piao, is a similar pronunciation. So it gives us a clue about the pronunciation. In a lot of these characters, you'll notice that the part of the character that indicates the pronunciation may be pronounced with a different tone to the full character. That's why it's just a clue. It doesn't tell you exactly how to pronounce it. You can't tell how to pronounce any Chinese character just by looking at it. You can only guess or memorize it. So now let's look at some characters where the meaning component or the radical is on the top of the character. Lu means dew. And the top half of this character, yu, means rain. So this indicates the area of meaning. Rain is related to dew. And lu, the bottom half of this character, is pronounced the same as the whole character. So this is the pronunciation clue. Guan means pipe or tube. The top half of this character is 2 sticks of bamboo. This means bamboo. This indicates the area of meaning because in ancient China these pipes or tubes were generally made out of bamboo. The bottom half, guan, gives us a clue as to the pronunciation, even though it's actually in a different tone. Cao means grass. The top half of this character means grass or plant, and it indicates the area of meaning. A lot of characters for plants have this component at the top, and zao is the bottom half. This means something completely different, but it gives us a clue as to the pronunciation, because they both have the ao sound, and they're both in third tone. So here are some characters with the meaning component on the bottom. Li means pear. The bottom half of this character means tree. And the top half, li, means something completely different, actually. But it's a pronunciation clue because it's the same syllable, it's just in a different tone. So you'll notice that the pronunciation clues in these characters actually mean very different things. They've just been borrowed because they have a similar pronunciation. In this case, li, the top half actually means benefit or profit or something like that. The meaning is not related at all. It's only there because it has a similar pronunciation. The bottom half is the meaning part. So I'm not going to tell you what all of the pronunciation components actually mean because it's actually not relevant at all. Gong means tribute or contribute. And the bottom half of this character is a cowrie shell. This means money, and it's related to the area of the meaning. The top half is gong, which has a similar pronunciation. Zhao means shine or illuminate. The bottom half means fire, and the top half, zhao, is the pronunciation clue. Okay, just a few examples of characters with the meaning part on the outside of the character. So this is gu, which means solid, or it's part of the word to consolidate. And on the outside, we have the enclosure, the box, if you want, and this indicates the area of meaning. Solid or consolidating something. And the inside of this character, gu, is pronounced similarly. It's got the same syllable in the pronunciation. This means consolidate. Bing means sick or disease. The outside of this character indicates the area of meaning. It means sickness as well. And the inside, bing, is related to the pronunciation. And then lastly, we have characters with the meaning component on the inside. So here we have men, or this can also be pronounced men, and this means bored or depressed or stuffy. So inside of this character we have xin, which means heart. So this relates to emotion, and it indicates the rough area of meaning. And the outside of this character, men, has a similar pronunciation. Okay, so hopefully this video helped you to understand the most common type of Chinese character and will make your Chinese character learning a bit easier when you look for these clues in the Chinese characters. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to find out more about learning Chinese, if you're just getting started and you want to avoid some of the most common mistakes, click the link in the description to this video to sign up and get this free guide, the 10 biggest mistakes beginners in Chinese make and how you can avoid them. There's loads of tips that I've put together in there. So click the link, sign up with your email address, and pick up a copy of that right now. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well, because I've got loads and loads of other Chinese learning videos up here. And thanks for watching, everybody. Happy Chinese learning, and see you soon.